To be a good idol, actor, and singer, one must have genuine materials and works that can be delivered. Relying solely on appearance to attract traffic, spending money to win big prizes, and fans brushing data. How many years can this be popular? Sumu, who was reborn in a parallel world, deeply understands this truth. So he secretly swore. Stop when he earns 30 million. Then he became the top performer based on his appearance, earning billions, spending money to win prizes, and his life became comfortable. Proficiency. Bound. Sumu. What's the use of giving me this at this time? I don't follow the power faction, how much money can that thing earn? This book is also known as. As a top-tier artist, it's not excessive to have some extreme ceiling skills, is it? I spent money to win awards, only cheats came. Self-cultivation of powerful male artists, P.S., relaxed entertainment articles, serious funny men, want to see it for a while, roast not to bring others. Keywords of the novel. I have become the top stream, only then have proficiency without pop-ups. I have become the top stream, only then have proficiency. Download the complete set of TXT. I have become the top stream, only then have proficiency in reading the latest chapters. Chapter 1. I've already spent money to win a prize, what's the use of you? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 1. I've already spent money to win a prize, what's the use of you? Note. This article is parallel to the world, without private goods, purely for entertainment. If there are any violations or similarities, they can be deleted or modified at any time. Galaxy City. The spotlight is shining, and the stars are shining brightly. Hello everyone, I am Fong Dagong, the presenter of this award. Don't say too much, don't nag too little, please look at the big screen. VCR. He is the seductive character of Sha Qianma in Flowers and Bones. He is the pure love that haunts Xia Yuha's soul in Along the Daming River. With his youthful voice and natural acting skills, he showcases the charm of the younger generation. 2023 Popular Male Artistic Award, Sumu Ah. Sumu. No, are you sure it's him? Damn it, a mentally disabled costume idol drama. Why? Just because of the high traffic. I'm absolutely forced to spend money to buy it. It's him, it's him. You can't talk about Brother Sumu, do you know how hard he works? What kind of hard work method? Humph, while filming on the set, he was reciting lines in the RV under the scorching sun. Also. He can only eat a few slices of wagyu and salmon every day for the sake of shaping a character, and doesn't even have caviar. Who knows? Yeah, I heard he was willing to lower his film's salary before, which gave the production team money to hire a special effects team for post-production. Sumu only received 40 million yuan for that drama. He's really worth it. 555, what? Amidst the remembrance of numerous fans. Sumu, dressed in a gorgeous suit, was envied by many senior professionals in the industry. Standing tall and without any hesitation, she walked onto the starlit podium. Step by step is the devil's pace. I am very confident. And this confidence stems from the good mentality of being wise and foolish deep in the soul. The main focus is on a meaningless title. It has been 3 years since I was reborn into this parallel world, and without any cheats, I have reached the pinnacle of my life. With my outstanding financial skills, I have won awards, which can be said to be a model of fame and fortune among the popular young people in the entertainment industry in the past 2 years. In terms of acting, he has good looks. He has good looks when it comes to singing. Judging by his writing style, he still has good looks. Anyway. This is called professionalism. Being envied by others is also an inevitable thing. In fact, Sumu really wanted to be a good artist, actor, singer, and idol. After being reborn, he discovered that he was handsome and went to a film and television base to do group performances. Later, he blindly submitted his resume to a media company and was really contacted by the company. In the end, he was only one step away from participating in the rigorous idol training class with those young people. He knew that the difference between this world and his past life was not very big. As long as you can participate in trainee training classes, persist for a few years, and improve your talent level through hard work, you will eventually have the opportunity to debut. But fate does not fulfill people's wishes. Before he could join the trainees, he was caught by a director due to an unfortunate departure. The male lead who directly acted in a costume drama. The response was okay, there were actually some beauty fans. Then the company's gold medal agent keenly seized the heat and potential, and directly cast him as the male lead in a second web drama. There are more fans, and the popularity is not decreasing. So, when the agent once again threw over a script for male number 2, Soo-moo knew that the opportunity to become a trainee he had worked hard to obtain was likely to be lost. Looking at the trainees who were sent to remote suburban dormitories and prepared to undergo years of brutal training, Soo-moo's eyes were envious. Their youthful efforts are really handsome. But for the rest of me, I can only continue to play the second male lead, continue to play the second male lead, continue to play the second male lead. And now he's the first male. Yes, although the money earned from playing the male lead is beyond their reach, they successfully debuted without undergoing any brutal training, and even the company spent money to buy him 2 annual Popular Male Art Awards. But so what? Soo-moo's heart is struggling. I have also thought about giving up and not wanting to become the person I hate the most. To put it simply, he is not someone who is greedy for taking shortcuts. He wants to become a high-quality idol in the hearts of fans and prove himself through hard work and true strength. It is said that a good idol must start with appearance, love for talent, and loyalty to character. So 2 years ago, Soo-moo secretly swore in his heart. Stop when you earn 30 million. Then I will definitely hone my abilities and become a genuine male artist, a good actor. Later, through his disdainful efforts, continuously participating in variety shows, continuously endorsing luxury goods advertisements, after being repeatedly named by the management and starring in more than a dozen non-nutritious, domineering CEO rich second-generation historical costume handsome man romance dramas. 3 years have passed now. Suddenly looking back, the vast sea is difficult to turn into water, wasting 2 vast expanses. Without hesitation, unforgettable, 30 million. Humph, you're young now. Money is real, it's easy to earn. His film salary has already reached the 60 million mark. The more money you earn, the more you stop it. Heaven cannot tolerate it. Last year, if it weren't for the fact that he had lowered his pay to cooperate with the production team and provided them with money to hire a special effects team for post-production, he would have already earned over 60 million yuan. Of course, Soo-moo's true concern is not money either, but rather the upcoming top 3-year rule in the entertainment industry. Just like a parabola, after reaching its peak, it always has to go downhill, and the evergreen tree without a single one among them cannot be him. According to past patterns, there are not many genuine materials and works that can be produced, and we will inevitably enter a low period in the future. Otherwise, he wouldn't have spent a huge amount of money running his own popular male entertainment for another year. More importantly, his contract with the company still has a 2-year term. If one's traffic decreases later on, the remuneration will also decrease, and it is very likely that they will not achieve the agreed goals. Maybe I'll have to get in there myself then. Soo-moo is not unaware that this type of contract is a double-edged sword. But if he doesn't sign, he won't be able to gain the company's support and resources in the past 2 years, even willing to spend money to win awards to maintain his top position and gain more business endorsement opportunities. All of this is just false prosperity. Without real works and strength, a castle in the air will eventually crumble, even if it doesn't collapse. There will always be more handsome and younger people to replace you. So, Sumu knew that as a top-tier idol star, he still had to make money as soon as possible, make a lot of money, go crazy. Is this the only way to feel secure? Cough. Sumu regained his senses and held the trophy with a deep expression on his face. How about receiving this award? Actually, there are only 4 words in my heart. No, forget, first, heart. Industry. Dot. Off the job. Dot. Everyone fell silent. After the speech is delivered. Except for the numerous celebrities, audiences, industry insiders, judges, teachers, organizers, and staff below, the rest of the unseen people warmly applauded. The host walked up and said, "First of all, congratulations to Sumu. So, I think what everyone is most concerned about is actually your schedule plan for the next year. I heard that you are planning to participate in the 3 major variety shows at the Goose Factory next year. Also, I wonder if you have made any breakthroughs in your character. Just like the trophy in your hand, which has been the most popular male actor for 2 years, do you want to compete for the real Best Actor title next year? Hehe, isn't this nonsense? Who needs a popular male actor to win the Best Actor award? Even fools know that this was done by brushing. Don't you mean to make things difficult for me? Let me ride a tiger and find it difficult," Sumu said helplessly. "Oh, the host is joking. My qualifications are still shallow, and an actor must need a more comprehensive background and talent. There is still a lot to learn, and there are also many colleagues who are more outstanding than me. So I just hope to have a solid grasp of every film." Remuneration. Host. Sumu is still as humble as ever. "By the way, I heard that director Zhang is currently looking for someone to audition for a new drama. He has the most popular script in his hands, and many big shots want to participate, with many veteran actors joining in. Why don't we take this opportunity to apply for a job on site and ask for a role from director Zhang? I don't know if you have confidence, Sumu. You rely on your acting skills to dominate the crowd and conquer the director and audience. Damn it, do you have a head?" Sumu was speechless in his heart, feeling that the host was intentionally targeting him. "I'm not being careful, it's mainly about which pot you don't open and which one you pick up. Whenever he can win a Best Supporting Actor or nomination, he can still have the confidence to handle it. The problem is, he is a reborn novice, and the awards he has won in the past 2 years are vague labels like Most Loved, Most Popular. It's just throwing money and gilding oneself, which may seem popular, but in reality, it's frustrating. Those who understand it all understand. So when it comes to having confidence at this point, it's completely shameless. After all, wanting to play these big shots and veteran actors is completely ridiculous. Being scolded is a small matter. But making everyone unable to step down is really embarrassing. I estimate it will make headlines tomorrow." Sumu was very helpless. He felt that he was really unloved and reborn. Why do the protagonists in other people's novels have cheats? Just a few words of dark blue and some points make him stronger. But 3 years have passed and I have to rely on throwing money to win the prize. Every day, he is subjected to various kinds of ridicule and roast, and is under great psychological pressure. Some rebirth, waking up with a hangover, then there is it. If there is no hangover, I'm afraid this life will also be gone. I really don't have much hope for life. Installation takes 1,206 days, 6 hours, 18 minutes, and 32 seconds, name. Sumu height. 183 appearance. Fresh meat level, premium, strength. 1.1 speed. 1.1 durability. 1.1 brain computing power. 1.1 speech, beginner, proficiency LV 0.1/10, yes. Sumu was shocked. Yes. Schwa. Celebrities. Judges. Fans. Director Zhang. Dot. The whole audience was shocked. Did you hear him? He said, yes. Dot. I heard. I'm a bit crazy. Where did you get that confidence from? It's really amazing. Hee, let alone old actors and celebrities, I will stand on my head and wash my hair if I can beat the other young supporting role. What about the play directed by Zhang, will I find him? I have seen that script. Almost every role is very full. The more brilliant the supporting role is, the more difficult it is to act. Sumu really doesn't know how much he is. Cough. The host awkwardly said, wow, I didn't expect our Sumu to be so confident in this job search. That's not a joke. Let's wait and see. We look forward to you getting a good role in Director Zhang's side. Congratulations on winning again. The host quickly concluded the conversation. He was also speechless in his heart. Unexpectedly, Sumu had thick skin and took it on the spot. Shouldn't we humbly excuse ourselves and joke around to get by? How could this person just climb along the pole? If the media ferments tomorrow and Zhang has to assign a role to Sumu due to public opinion, wouldn't he become the one who dug a hole for Zhang? Offending the great director is not a good thing. Being countered by Sumu, the host was so scared that he broke out in a cold sweat and dared not joke anymore. On the other side, under the strange gaze of everyone, Sumu had already walked off the podium. After sitting back in his seat, his heart was filled with sadness. He knew he must have been misunderstood just now. Because what he said was yes, there are those who have fallen through, rather than those who have confidence in using their characters to dominate the crowd on Director Zhang's side. This cheat is really unlucky. Isn't it accelerating oneself down the slope? P.S. Cute new book, kneeling down to read and support the big shots. After investing internally, you can rest assured to invest and get coins. P.S. For collection, for follow. Up reading, thank you. End of this chapter. If you're like me in chapter 2, then this matter, Thai pants spicy. You are listening at novel full. Audio. If you're like me in chapter 2, then this matter, Thai pants spicy. Seeking collection, male art proficiency board, name. Sumu height. 183 appearance. Fresh meat level, premium, strength. 1.1 speed. 1.1 durability. 1.1 brain computing power. 1.1 skill point. 0.01, speech proficiency LV 0.1 out of 10, note 1. There are only 5 proficiency levels for all skills, LV 0.1. LV 5. Emerging from the thatched cottage, ascending to the top, outstanding craftsman, master of the hall, ultimate ceiling. Note 2. Only when associated with the film and television entertainment industry can proficiency levels be activated. Note 3. For each proficiency level completed, you can earn 0.01 skill points. The 4 core attributes of male art can be added, with a higher level of proficiency. The 4 attributes need to be stacked to assist in improving one's basic qualities in order to master higher skill proficiency. People will not improve without reason, only complement each other. Additionally, the addition of attribute values is not a multiple increase, but rather an additive superposition. Additionally, after accumulating 1.0 skill points, you can exchange them for special blind boxes. Blind boxes will be selected in a random form, with different types of blind boxes such as task plus reward, special skill proficiency, artwork, etc. Done. On stage, the beautiful actress is displaying her charming voice, and her slender legs are particularly tempting under the light. And off stage, Sumu didn't give any face, didn't even look at it, and his mind was full of this sudden male art panel. Although he wants fame and money now, he doesn't lack anything. But who would refuse the opportunity to become the ceiling? If there is a choice between 30 million yuan and becoming the ceiling, Sumu would not hesitate to choose the latter. Because he now has 50 million in his account, even if it's not 30 million, there are still 20 million, and he's not panicking at all. I briefly took a look at the introduction of the male art panel below. I have roughly gained a certain understanding of it. According to the annotation, it should be that as long as the corresponding level of proficiency is completed, the proficiency of the skill can be improved until reaching the ultimate ceiling. The range of skill proficiency can only be related to male art. Just like giving an award speech today, even if you give a speech, it is still related to the industry, which is why proficiency in public speaking emerged. As for this 0.01 skill point, it's a bit lacking. Adding it to the 4 attributes doesn't seem to have much effect. It's best to save it and try to exchange it for a special blind box after reaching 1 skill point. At present, there are only 4 core attributes: strength, speed, endurance, and computational power. Upon careful consideration, these 4 fundamental attributes can indeed encompass many aspects. According to the panel's explanation, these are the 4 basic elements of the human body. Only by meeting these 4 standards can one become proficient in higher level skills. I dare not agree. Sumu felt that at least he needed to add some of his own weaknesses, and it would be better to be more precise. For example, intelligence, emotional intelligence, inverse intelligence, financial intelligence, vision, hearing, smell, taste, sensitivity, hardness, sensitivity, hair count, reproductive speed, focus, creativity, comprehension. The award ceremony has ended. The stars sang an unforgettable song for tonight and then left one after another. Sumu quickly got onto the company's RV with his assistant. At this moment, there was already someone waiting in the RV. Man wearing a checkered suit, with a gay bow and exposed ankle, pink socks paired with a pair of crocodile leather shoes. It is an elegant and fashionable masterpiece. This person is the gold medal agent of the company and also the bowl guide of Sumu, Qianjida. Sumu sat down in the car and said, "Hey man, where are we going to eat tonight's celebration banquet?" Qianjida pursed his lips and said seriously, "Whatever you eat, you know how to eat. Knowing is knowing, not knowing is not knowing, you single pledge." I am so frustrated, rolling calf. What's going on? What are you talking about, ancestor? Qianjida said with a look of helplessness on his face. Take a look at the hot search on the internet, big brother. So, if the host dug a hole, you can also jump. Why don't you politely decline and just pass by? You still say, yes, in front of others. Alright now, those effeminate fans next door are all waiting to see you joke. If you don't go to director Zhang's side to demand a role this time, you might not be able to do it. But if this drama doesn't have you, you will be slapped in the face and even criticized for not being recognized by director Zhang for your acting skills. Sumu shrugged and didn't care at all. It's not the first day I'm out to hang out, just the fans of those girls next door. I'll care what they say. Qianjida said, "Big brother, you don't care, I care. I just talked to the new brand side about signing a contract. One of them is that the brand requires you to maintain the talented persona that has been shaped for a long time. You're so lucky. It's easy to boast about not being able to get off stage after all this, but because you didn't get the role, it affected the trust of this brand. What if we cancel the contract? We're missing a lot of money. Brother Sumu. Don't forget, you still have a few $100 million bets with the company. Only 2 years left." Qianjida elaborated on the pros and cons with both voice and emotion. The driver in front and the assistant in front of the passenger also turned around with a nervous expression. Because it is rare to see Qianjida and Sumu getting angry, and once the agent gets angry, it is likely to affect their year. End bonus. Sumu looked at the 3 of them, took a deep breath, and then looked straight. No, you don't understand my deep love for the entertainment industry. I want to become a truly shining superstar, so money is just a stumbling block for me on my way to the summit. Qianjida chuckled and said, "Brother, this is Cartier's brand ambassador. This endorsement is for everything from watches to jewelry to high-end trendy suits, with a 2-year endorsement fee of 40 million yuan. You don't know how fierce the competition among big brands is, do you? Besides, how many scenes do you have to film to get back 40 million yuan? Just 40 million yuan. Su Mu smiled slightly and said, we cannot afford to lose this endorsement. Xian Jidao. Driver. Assistant. Changing faces is really fast. Su Mu said, this is the end of the matter. I know what to do. As long as I win a role in Director Zhang's script, everything can be resolved. Agent. Driver. Assistant. The car is quiet inside. The three of them directly showed an expression of really, they don't believe it. After all, Su Mu weighs a few pounds and a few taels. Others don't know, but they still understand. And at this moment, after Su Mu finished speaking passionately, a hint suddenly flashed through his mind. Speech proficiency LV 0.2/10, skill point plus 0.01, look at the completion of proficiency and the increase of 0.01 skill points. A sudden realization flashed through his heart. So this can also be considered a speech. Speaking formally with at least 3 people can constitute a speech. Su Mu is not actually eager to become a master of public speaking. But he knows he needs to brush skill points. So, if this can achieve proficiency once, there will be plenty of opportunities, and you can continue to speak formally like this in the future. I estimate that I will soon be able to earn 1 skill point and exchange it for a special blind box. At this moment, Qian Jida across from him looked at Su Mu with a dull expression and couldn't bear it anymore. He softened his voice and then said, Su Mu, it's not that we don't believe you. Mainly, this is Director Zhang's script, which is notoriously harsh on actors. If he doesn't perform well, he really won't use it. No matter how popular you are, even if you are recommended by the producers and management, they may not necessarily care. Su Mu regained his senses and said, is there any other way? Just give up on Weibo. Qian Jida was taken aback for a moment, then shook his head resolutely and said, that's absolutely not possible. Just give up, the agent next door who is a sissy. We can't laugh at you together. Can you bear it? I can't. Anyway, we have a conflict with those from the neighboring company. As we all know, my artists just can't lose. Su Mu nodded and said, yes, that's it. So what else can I do? I'll try hard and maybe I'll actually get the character. And once I succeed, it's good for my future transformation. There must be some decent work. Upon hearing this, Qian Jida glanced at Su Mu with some surprise. Before this, there's no need to say it yourself, even Su Mu couldn't cause trouble for himself. How did you change your sex today? Are you so confident? After thinking for a moment, Qian Jida nodded and said, it's okay. Since you've already said it, let's take a gamble. If it doesn't work out, I'll try to get the script for Director Zhang first. Take it back and think about it first. Then I'll go audition for the role and be prepared. Su Mu smiled and nodded, then thought of something else. Wait, you 3, take a look. Driver. Assistant. Qian Jidao. Su Mu said, as for me, I am actually a very stubborn person. I don't care what others say, want me to do, how I want me to do, I don't care. If you can be like me in the future, then I think this matter. Thai pants spicy. Speech proficiency +1, skill point +0. 01, the car is quiet inside. Assistant. Driver. Qian Jida looked worried and said, Brother Su Mu, are you okay? What's wrong? If you're sick, I'll find a doctor for you. Su Mu said, it's okay, I just want to eat some seafood tonight. 2 hours later. Bologna restaurant. Su-mu raised his glass and said, "Everyone. Today, let me briefly say a few words about my award. First of all, So, we all need to keep our spirits up. In the end, I believe that through our efforts, we will definitely. Yes, this is the best of us. To create more glory. Speech proficiency +1. Plus 0.01. P.S. Seeking follow. Up reading. Please follow up. Touch it. End of this chapter. Chapter 3. The bigger the wind and waves, the more expensive the fish. Seeking follow. Up and collection. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. Chapter 3. The bigger the wind and waves, the more expensive the fish. Seeking follow. Up and collection. Male Art Proficiency Board, Strength. 1.1 Speed. 1.1 Durability. 1.1 Brain Computing Power. 1.1 Skill Point. 0.11 Speech, Beginner, Proficiency LV 1.1/20, the next morning. The sunshine is beautiful. Su-mu woke up from his sleep. Open your eyes and you'll see the updated panel. Last night at the celebration banquet, through his constant toasting, he achieved 10 brilliant feats in a row, and finally reached proficiency, successfully advancing to speech. LV1 is just starting out. Skill points can also accumulate to 0.11. My lips are almost worn out. However, according to the speed, accumulating to 1.0 skill points is not as complicated as it seems. As long as you gather 3 or more listeners and speak casually, it's enough. There are still plenty of opportunities. Ding dong. At this moment, the doorbell suddenly rang. Su-mu looked at the time and it was already 10 o'clock in the morning. Quietly open the door and look up at the incoming person. You're here. Well, I'm here. A person. Well, one person. Where's the thing? In the bag. Su-mu nodded and then looked around. After confirming that there were no paparazzi, he opened the door and let the assistant in. His little assistant is very cute, his real name is Fan Xiaoju, and he doesn't have any special skills. He has a hobby of chasing stars. At home, there may not be much money shortage, otherwise even dogs wouldn't do jobs like celebrity assistants. Of course, Xiaoju's favorite celebrity is not Su-mu, but someone else. Her original wish was to work as an assistant for that person, but by chance, the company actually assigned her to her. Fortunately, Su-mu's personal charm is quite good. In the end, he conquered Xiaoju and became his assistant with ease. Of course, the real reason is the person she likes, her character recently collapsed and she completely withdrew from the entertainment industry. For this matter, Xiaoju was sad all day. Then the second season of Idol Training Class kicked off the next day, and she fell in love with another cool younger brother. Su-mu understood that chasing stars is a virtue in any world. At this point, Xiaoju carefully placed the KFC family bucket in her hand on the table, and then nervously said, "Qian always said that not allowing you to eat these high calories will affect your appearance. If you know I bought it for you without authorization, I will die. You must not reveal your true feelings." Su-mu took a fried chicken and stuffed it into his mouth, muttering, "Don't worry, little orange juice. You don't know me yet. I have always valued loyalty the most. If you and I make a living under his claws, we must work together. I will never betray you." Little Orange Pie smiled but didn't smile. He chuckled and said, "Maybe you don't even believe that when you say that, do you?" Su-mu said, "It doesn't matter whether I believe it or not, the key is that you have to trust me." Xiaoju. I believe you're a ghost. Last time you beat the king, you kicked your teammates on the microphone and almost got recognized on the hot search. In the end, you were scolded by Qian Jida for not asking me to give you the top spot. Su Mu. Cough. That was just an accident. The road was so bumpy, can you bear it? Xiao Ju. Then why should I be scolded for being the one you're criticizing? Su Mu. Xiaoju. You have changed. You are no longer the Xiaoju I used to know. Do you remember when we first met? You would rather be hungry and even shared your portion of French fries with me, but now. Xiaoju. He isn't that when you were so greedy that you'd rather hold on to it than eat an extra portion. Su Mu. Dot. Xiaoju. Alright, hurry up and eat, otherwise Qian Jida will come and curse again. As she finished speaking, Xiaoju happily sat on the sofa and began to admire her new favorite, the cool little brothers from the idol training class. Su Mu shook his head and sighed. Sure enough, raising an assistant is like raising a daughter, and in the end, it's all for someone else to take care of. Actually, Su Mu had also discussed this matter with Fan Xiaoju before. To be reasonable, isn't he handsome? What's in front of you is De Schwabi, one of the most popular celebrities, why not pursue yourself? As a result, Fan Xiaoju gave a standard answer that Su Mu was unable to refute. You are very handsome, but you don't have a younger brother named Xiang. You don't have a younger brother named Xiang. No younger brother fragrance. No brother fragrance. Brother Xiang. Sumo ate the hamburger and then opened his phone. I habitually glanced at Weibo first. Su Mu v/fans. 11 million, a recent dynamic comment unexpectedly skyrocketed by 40,000 overnight. Su Mu's eyelids twitched. It seems like something big is not good. Normally, the comments section under my Weibo account only has 20,000 to 30,000 comments, but suddenly it jumps to over 60,000. So something must have happened. Then he quickly clicked on the hot search page, and as expected. Hot search number 1. Star Award ceremony yesterday. Hot search number 2. Unhealthy person super talk hashtag. Hot search number 3. Dupo Medusa deleted. Hot search number 4. Su Mu is very confident. Hot search number 5. Director Zhang's new play, job seeking at the Sumo Award ceremony. Hot search number 6. The roles played by Su Mu. Hot search number 7. Caught a new romance with a well-known idol. Hot search. Su Mu looked at the hot search with a black line in his mind. Who is so wicked? I bought 3 hot searches for myself in a row. Sure enough, yesterday I made a slip of the tongue and the situation escalated. Just click on a hot search about yourself and take a look at the comments below. Su Mu, come on. Your acting skills are the fattest. How much does the marketing number upstairs cost? Is this enough to make it round? Hahaha, to be reasonable, I agree with Su Mu's acting skills, but only limited to mindless idle dramas. Come on, that expressionless idle drama is something that a person can do, but who can't stand a wooden person? I originally really liked director Zhang's play, but if we add Su Mu this time, I think it's a pill. A person's spicy chicken acting skills need a group of veteran actors to save them. Does he still have face? He really dared to say at yesterday's award ceremony, competing with veteran actors for acting skills. Where did he get his confidence? If I leave it here, I can get the character from director Zhang and wash my hair upside down. Roast has begun on the internet. Su Mu turned off his phone directly. As a top-tier good character, the first thing is to cultivate a calm attitude of ignoring online reviews. And he is a person of 2 generations. What big winds and waves have you never seen before? The more turbulent the situation is, the more we need to calm down. It's better to have enthusiasm than not. Gao Qiqiang once said. The bigger the wind and waves, the more expensive the fish. Giant Elephant Media Building. In the office. Xian Jida looked indignant and said, I just wanted to ask, who did this hot search? It's all from the industry. Don't think I can't see it, just buy one. Even if I buy 3 or 4 hot searches, this is clearly putting Sumu up for grilling. What does the operations department mean? Or is it using our Sumu to block someone's gun and distract their attention? Qian, don't get excited. Actually, even if we don't operate, he will still be scolded for yesterday's incident, so it's just a personal matter. Human favor. Why? Sumu is my person. Mr. Qian, there are only 2 years left for the resource gambling agreement, which is difficult to complete with a few $100 million. As you can see this year, the data won't lie. Sumu's popularity and ratings for new dramas have already declined, and it is certain that no works will lose fans in the next 2 years. It is impossible to go up the slope, so it is still necessary to be realistic. The company's intention is to focus more resources and energy on younger potential newcomers, and the trend of following stars in the past 2 years is also to prefer younger siblings who have been nurtured since childhood. As for Sumu, the subsequent arrangements remain unchanged, but let's make some adjustments to the new resources. If the contract expires and his revenue cannot be fully matched, then he will be forced to renew the contract, and the company will not be at a loss. Is this what the boss means? Xian Jida looked angrily, you're just playing tricks. If you do this, which artist will still choose us in the future? Sorry, Mr. Qian, this is what the company means. Cute new book, seeking support. Thank you, gentlemen. End of this chapter. Chapter 4. This script is really a bit crazy. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 4. This script is really a bit crazy. It was already evening when Sumu saw Qian Jida. But it is obvious from his gloomy gaze that his mood is not particularly beautiful. Didn't you say you went to the office in the morning? Why are you only coming now? Qian Jida rolled his eyes and said, it's not for you. I asked someone to help you with the script for Director Zhang. Optionally skip the content of daytime meetings with the company. Qian Jida was not prepared to tell Sumu about those things to avoid losing his original mindset. Idol stars in front of the camera, besides their appearance, are mostly attracted by their energy in spirit. This is determined by mentality and aura. And once the morale is affected, it is easy to collapse in front of the camera. No matter how makeup artists or artists conceal their performances or adjust themselves, their spirit and spirit are different, which can even affect their future career paths. As a seasoned gold medal agent, Qian Jida is adept at mastering these details. So, at the most critical moment for Sumu, he is naturally able to control the timing of what he says now and what he says last. And even if it were told to Sumu, the most they could do was sit together and worry even more. It's better not to mention it, but to make him feel more relaxed and embrace the final challenge in his best state, which can at least reduce some of the burden. As for the final result, we can only do our best to obey fate. He has been in the industry for almost 20 years and has witnessed the rise and fall of too many famous stars. And often those who can reach the end and take the long run are those who are not eager for quick success and have a good mentality. But in the current market, in an environment where capital offers great benefits, there are very few who can achieve quick success and instant benefits. While thinking, Qian Jida walked straight into the room, and then his mother angrily took out his Chanel handkerchief and covered her nose. Why is there such a strong smell of fried chicken? Are you joking? Sumu said with a serious expression, you know me well, I never eat those things. Qian Jida narrowed his eyes slightly and then looked at the assistant Xiaoju, who was taking out the garbage. Fan Xiaoju, did you eat fried chicken? Fan Xiaoju's face was full of nervousness, and her cute little head shook into a tambourine. No, we didn't eat fried chicken. We had fried chicken flavored steak for lunch. Sumu. Sometimes Su Mu admires Fan Xiaoju's brain circuits. Even if you mention fried chicken breast, it's better than fried chicken flavored steak. At this moment, Qian Jida naturally saw through everything, and he gave Su Mu a glare without saying much. Sitting directly on the sofa, I took out a thick stack of notebooks wrapped in file bags from my bag. Qian Jida said, "Thanks to my connections, I have obtained the initial version of Director Zhang's script. I will arrange an audition in a few days. It's best for you to get angry, otherwise we'll lose both our wealth and reputation." Su Mu restrained his expression and couldn't joke about work. He took the file bag and pulled out the notebook, which was a white script. Many times, great directors keep the script and some shooting details confidential when preparing new dramas. So before the startup is fully confirmed, some directors will not clearly indicate the title and changes on the script. Su Mu was actually very curious about this script yesterday. Recently, there has been a lot of buzz and hot searches, and many industry insiders are crazy about this script. If it were to be filmed, it would definitely go viral. But actually, only a few people have actually seen it. Without hesitation, Su Mu opened the script and then started reading it. Theme: Urban era background of the era. 2,000 characters. Anshin, rising high and strong, rising high and prosperous story summary. The spirited detective Anshin meets the bullied fish trafficker Gao Qiqiang, but as Gao Qiqiang gradually deviates from the right path, he enters the undercurrent of the black and evil forces. Why does this look a bit familiar? Boy, isn't this content from the previous life's Fury? So this is what director Zhang is going to shoot this time. Although the title of the drama has not yet been established, Su Mu at this moment can fully confirm that the content of this story is the popular police and bandit drama, Fury, in the world of his past life. It has to be said that this is indeed a top-notch film. Of course, a drama can become popular not only because of its rich content, but also because of many other factors. Half of the reason for the frenzy is still because the actors in the drama are one by one online, with their acting skills skyrocketing. Especially those villains, who played quite well and had distinct characteristics, even became popular on the internet and were imitated by many online bloggers. Many lines leave a deep impression on people. Tell Lao Mo that I want to eat fish, talking nonsense is useless, making others mourn as well. You smashed the TV for me, what level? It's the same as what I used. It can be said that most of the supporting role in the play were very popular because of the play. It can be considered a divine drama of that year. Su Mu flipped through the subsequent plot of the script, from the characters to the scenes and then to the storyline. It cannot be said to be exactly the same, but it is still generally the same. This can be understood because it is common to modify the script during the filming process. So the final presentation still needs to be based on the cutting after the final shooting is completed. Script understanding, beginner, proficiency LV0. 1/10, skill point plus 0.01, new proficiency level. Su Mu looked at the sudden emergence of proficiency. This script seems to be easier to understand than a speech because a speech requires a large number of people, and when reading the script, he can do it alone. If reading the script once is considered proficiency, then he is estimated to be able to advance one level in a day. Moreover, skill points can accumulate even more. For the drama, Fury, Su Mu's impression is actually limited to the TV dramas he has watched in his past life. However, there is actually no deep understanding of the details and psychology of the various characters inside. So, if you want to audition, get a character from director Zhang. I really should read it carefully and find a character that suits me well and has a deep understanding. At this moment, the room is very quiet. On the side, Qian Jida and Fan Xiaoju both looked at Su Mu, who was seriously reading the script, with an unexpected expression on their faces. If it's normal, Su Mu will have to lie flat in a few minutes at most. After all, those brainless idle dramas I filmed before didn't require any script to be chewed on. When filming, as long as the appearance is handsome enough, there are no expressions or lines, it's okay. This seems to be the first time I've seen him study the script so seriously. Qian Jida couldn't help but ask. How do you feel? Can you chew the script? I asked before, and it is said that the characters in it are very complicated, especially the two main characters and the important supporting role, who have different moods and express themselves clearly, so it is difficult to estimate if they want to interpret it. It's a bit difficult, but just read it a few more times. Su Mu was reading the script carefully, and when he heard what Qian Jida said, he nodded without hesitation. He naturally knew that the characters who were racing required extremely deep acting skills to master. Especially for the character Gao Qiqiang, the psychological process from being forced by life at the beginning to gradually being forced by the real environment and leading to a dead end is a very complex and hierarchical progression. There are complex moods intertwined here, which those without experience naturally cannot understand, let alone play. Of course, Su Mu nowadays naturally won't be too arrogant and wants to play the main characters inside. Even with a proficiency panel, one cannot be brainless. Moreover, his current life is too comfortable for him to fathom this painful life. So the only way out is to quickly upgrade the understanding of the script to a higher level. Qian Jida was a bit worried and said, "It's not enough to read more about the characters. This requires experience. How about I ask someone to find some masters from Jingdian to make up for it?" Su Mu shook his head and said, "No need. Besides, there's not enough time. Let me give it a try first. If it doesn't work out, then we'll talk." Qian Jida looked at Su Mu as if he was serious. Although he didn't distrust Su Mu, he still had a lower chance of winning by cramming in the face of battle. But there is really no other way at the moment. I can only hope that Su Mu can have a bit of extra performance by then. Seeking follow. Up and collection. End of this chapter. Chapter 5. Happiness is not about it, it's just fun. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. Chapter 5. Happiness is not about it, it's just fun. Before dawn. The neon lights in Galaxy City flickered all night before gradually fading out. Skill point plus 0.01, skill points plus 0.01. Ignored the flashing panel prompts in my mind. Su Mu rubbed his slightly dry eyes. Through the tall French window, you can see the sanitation workers in orange uniforms on the street outside. Once upon a time, he also woke up at this time every day and worked tirelessly for 2 hours on the subway to get to work in the city. His life was tight and he also had a lot of troubles. If it weren't for that accident, perhaps he could still continue to be so poor and happy. On the other hand, now that you are famous, you have money, and you have lost your worries. But I really can't say how happy it is. At best, it's just satisfying. Male Art Proficiency Board Tips, Name. Su Mu Height. 183 Appearance. Fresh Meat Level, Premium, Strength. 1.1 Speed. 1.1 Durability. 1.1 Brain Computing Power. 1.1 Skill Point. 0.22 Speech, Beginner, Proficiency LV 1.1/20, Script Understanding, Beginner, Proficiency LV 1.1/20, Come to my senses. Su Mu then looked at his proficiency. After seeing off Qian Jida and Fan Xiaoju last night, he began to fight for proficiency. I watched it all night and read it hard at least 10 times. Finally, I successfully elevated my proficiency in understanding my script to the level of LV1. And the skill points have also accumulated to 0.22, getting closer and closer to 1.0 points. Then you can choose blind boxes. According to what Qian Jida told him yesterday, the audition may start in 2 or 3 days, and they will go to director Zhang's studio in Beijing for an interview. So in terms of time, it may seem urgent, but it's completely within reach. In 2 days, Su Mu is confident that he can improve his proficiency to a higher level. Although the proficiency in acting skills has not yet been fully developed, as long as the understanding of the script is thorough enough, it will still be of great help to some extent. Just like now, he feels like he understands many of the key points in the script, including some lines with implicit meanings in the characters, as well as what role they play in the entire storyline, and so on. In fact, during the audition stage of a drama, the director often chooses a standard that may not be based on the actor's acting skills. But it's about finding a feeling in front of the camera, a feeling that he thinks the character is the person in front of the camera. As long as you feel right, then the level of acting skills will be the sequel. Soo-moo took a shower and then took a nap. Yesterday Chien Ji-da instructed that there is a brand event today, inviting many celebrities to participate. He is required to attend as a spokesperson. This is also the most important job before auditioning for the Beijing film crew, and all the other jobs that Chien Ji-da could recommend were rejected. It's just 9 o'clock. Soo-moo was awakened by the doorbell. Drowsy-eyed, he went to open the door, but before he could see clearly, 4 or 5 people suddenly came in. You don't have to look to know that besides Chien Ji-da and Xiao Orange, the others are the company's makeup artist and Tony teacher. Every time you attend an event, it is essential to prepare for your own appearance. Soo-moo hardly wakes up, and he has basically adapted to this irregular schedule. So while sitting on the chair doing makeup and hairstyle, he took a nap for over an hour. After waking up, I almost returned to my previous life due to suffocation. He's so handsome. Chien Ji-da stuffed half an apple into Soo-moo's mouth and then said, not bad. Today, this outfit is definitely stunning. Let the next few girlies see what contemporary male gods are. Soo-moo was eating an apple and hesitated, saying, what? How many people next door are also going? Chien Ji-da said, nonsense, can international high-end brands like Cartier not lick their faces and rub against each other? Soo-moo. But starting from the end of this year, the spokesperson is me, right? Where are they going? Chien Ji-da said, Che, ghosts only know. Anyway, it's just one word, just scratch it. Soo-moo. Chien Ji-da said, let me tell you, no matter what, your aura cannot be weak today, and the brand will also be present. If they have any doubts about your upcoming new drama directed by Zhang, you must not show any fear. Don't let them feel guilty about you, make sure they see your determination, and you can definitely get the role and produce good works. Only then can they feel that your future image is in line with their product's luxurious and meaningful temperament positioning. Soo-moo nodded and said, don't worry, I dare not say anything else. In terms of temperament, I still hold on to it quite tightly. Half an hour later. Everything is ready. Soo-moo wore a Cartier haute couture suit, paired with the same limited edition watch and Cartier pendant with gemstones and diamonds, exuding luxury throughout his body. Fashion, if it's expensive, that's it. Looking satisfied in the mirror, he then looked at the people inside the room. Soo-moo. Ladies and gentlemen, let me briefly talk about this design. Chien Ji-da. Fan Xiaoju. Makeup artist. Teacher Tony. Clothing assistant. Soo-moo said, I am even satisfied with today's design. It is luxurious and introverted, with a bold yet elegant style, a mix of fashion and delicacy, masculine yet gentle. Perhaps this is what my soul wants to express, but it has been cleverly displayed by you. Handsome like me. Thank you. Speech proficiency +1, skill point +0.01, Chien Ji-da. Fan Xiaoju. Makeup artist. Teacher Tony. Clothing assistant. The room suddenly became quiet. Several people fell silent. The makeup artist and Tony looked at Chien Ji-da with a bewildered expression on their faces, as if trying to express something, but they didn't really mean it. I have seen those who are narcissistic, but I have never seen those who are narcissistic in ancient Chinese. In an awkward moment, it was still Fan Xiaoju who spoke up to break free. It's almost time, it's time to go. Drive for over half an hour. Su Mu and others arrived at the banquet event site. There are two arrangements for this event. One is the opening ceremony of the brand's new store in Galaxy City. In fact, it's just walking on the red carpet and then cutting ribbons. With the addition of celebrities, it's natural to increase popularity. Secondly, there are banquets in the inner hall, almost all of which are attended by social celebrities and so on. A large number of fans have already gathered on the periphery. Hold up the sign and shout loudly. NNQT. NNQT. Wow, NNQT boy band brother is really here. Su Mu Su Mu. Su Mu is also here. He is the spokesperson. Wow. Look, isn't that Ning Yuyan from Beijing Media? She's also here. There is official news from the Cartier brand that it is said that they may be endorsing with Su Mu Group CP. Alas, there have been quite a few hot searches in Su Mu these days. Director Zhang must have been angry and suddenly came out with a low-educated job seeker. Hey, what are you laughing at? Su Mu Gu can definitely participate. Come on, if he can join Director Zhang's crew, then our NNQT male band brothers can also join. Fans from both camps have started to engage in verbal altercations. And at this moment, Su Mu has also gotten off the car with Qian Jida and walked onto the red carpet to sign and prepare for ribbon cutting. Qian Jida rolled his eyes and said, "See, NNQT next door is here." Su Mu smiled and said, "Indeed, it's still a sissy group who knows how to rub around." End of this chapter. 6. Can defective products also be compared to me in Chapter 6? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 6. Do defective products match me? The ribbon cutting went smoothly, followed by the brand's dinner. Su Mu has also participated in many of these games in the past 2 years, but usually he leaves after finishing his meal. Unless there are really some things that require him to socialize in person, Qian Jida will let him stay for a while longer. As they were eating, a few people walked towards them. In addition to the seemingly annoying NNQT agent, there is also Ning Yuyan and a stranger. They are all holding red wine in their hands, smiling and showing off their social status. Qian Jida whispered, "Don't eat. This is Lu Qiangxi, the director of the brand. Remember, hold on to your momentum and don't show any timidity." Upon hearing this, Su Mu put down the plate and didn't say anything. It is impossible to show timidity. Moreover, the several girlish women next door were also present, and Su Mu never fell behind in this kind of one-on-point game against my Mang. Mr. Qian and Su Mu, thank you very much for participating in our brand event today. Qian Jida smiled and said, "Director Lu, you're welcome. This is all part of the job, after all, Su Mu is a spokesperson." Yes, Mr. Lu is polite. Su Mu also picked up his glass and said. Lu Qiangxi looked at Su Mu and said, "I've seen the hot search headlines these past few days. Su Mu, you've been very popular lately, and your performance at the award ceremony was very good. We all look forward to your outstanding performance in Director Zhang's new drama. If you can lay the foundation and showcase your acting skills and strength through this work, it will better demonstrate that our brand's vision of choosing spokespersons is correct, and the future cooperation and development between the brand and you are also unlimited." It has to be said that Lu Qiangxi's words are very insightful. The old fogies in the shopping malls are different. They seem to be careless, but they have hidden meanings. He didn't come up and anxiously ask Qian Jida if he was confident that Su Mu would get a role in Director Zhang's new drama. But instead, he used hot search to introduce the topic in a roundabout way, and then skipped the inquiry directly, expressing a positive sentence. They are looking forward to Su Mu's outstanding performance in Director Zhang's new drama. Just like Su Mu is bound to be able to participate in the performance. And if Su Mu can perform well, it not only proves their brand's vision in selecting spokespersons, but also promotes future cooperation. The entire expression may seem insignificant, but in reality, it is putting pressure on Su Mu. That is to say, their brand will only accept the result of Su Mu's participation in this drama, regardless of what Su Mu will do next. And their acting skills must be excellent, otherwise they have a problem with their judgment when choosing spokespersons. Since there is a problem with vision, there is no need for cooperation in the future. They are all old business people in the mall, and the meaning of this sentence is something that the few people present can't help but hear. Qian Jida's smile was slightly stiff. Although I had guessed that the brand would definitely give them extra credit for this matter, I didn't expect it to be so powerful. After all, Su Mu's previous works were almost all idle dramas of fast-moving consumer goods that he found, not to mention acting skills. They were the kind of dramas that could sweep ratings solely based on their appearance. Nowadays, they are facing high-difficulty auditions and public opinion pressure is already flying high. On the other hand, we also have to face extremely high demands from the brand owner, but we cannot refuse them. After all, Su Mu and the company still have a revenue target of over 2 years. Qian Jida is very worried at the moment whether Su Mu's mentality will be affected. If the momentum weakens or the expression is not good, making Lu Qiangxi realize that it is actually difficult for them to receive this play, the brand can find reasons to adjust the agreement and contract. If endorsement fails, then there will be a lot of wasted money. I'm afraid it will cause a lot of public opinion when the time comes. As long as the media adds fuel to the situation, people will doubt the reason why Su Mu lost its international brand endorsement. Has the character collapsed? Emotional disputes. Stealing or leaking sleep. Wait, these inexplicable things. It will have extremely adverse effects on Su Mu. A traffic star's decline is actually faster than the stock's limit down, and it is difficult for the public to see the truth, and the vast majority do not care about the actual situation. Once the wind direction is wrong, it will fall into the mud and valley. At this point, Qian Jida had already brainstormed the next 5, 6, 7, or 8 steps. I have thought about what may or may not happen. At this moment, a voice came. Director Liu may not know, but Director Zhang's new drama is still in the casting stage. Director Zhang's auditions are well known in the industry for being very strict, sometimes not even giving face to the producers. Even if you are an actor, he doesn't necessarily need to perform well. Following the voice, the speaker was a man with a rather annoying appearance. Having a delicate mustache, triangular eyes, and a sharp smile. It is Zhang Huan, the agent of the neighboring Tianqing Media's effeminate boy group. He came over at this moment to interject, naturally wanting to make Su Mu feel embarrassed. After all, Director Zhang may not even give face to an actor, let alone Su Mu. Qian Jida pulled his neck muscle. I am about to step forward and align with Zhang Huan on Buzhong Road. But Su Mu's words took the lead. Mr. Zhang is really right. Director Zhang's casting has always been based solely on watching dramas and not people, so that's why I have to take the role from him. Only in this way can I prove that Su Mu is not the kind of defective product traffic where people tend to stick together just because their appearance is not good enough, and if they can't stick together, they will spend money on operation, and even if they run a talent show, they won't get a place. Zhang Huan. Su Mu, you. Lu Qiangxi. Qian Jida. After Su Mu finished speaking, the expressions of the few people present were all wrong. Although he didn't give a name, anyone who knew something knew that he was referring to the NNQT boy group. This boy group consists of 5 people in total. Those who are familiar with it know that without makeup, these 5 are really average. At that time, Zhang Huan was also pieced together, and it was really not easy to cultivate him. Spending money to operate and even arranging to participate in the draft, the result was that they couldn't even make it to the top 30, and in the end, they had no choice but to secretly manipulate the top 16. It may seem very popular now, but the real data is actually quite false and still in the stage of losing money. It's not an exaggeration for Sumu to say it's a defective product. This has always been a pain point for Zhang Huan. At this moment, his facial expression is very exciting, like eating a lump of feces, unable to swallow, but also difficult to spit out. Sumu didn't care at all about Zhang Huan's gaze. In fact, he never paid much attention to those effeminate women. They have always been just a leisure time after dinner with Qian Jida. Although he doesn't have much real talent. But as someone who relies on their face to rise, at least in terms of appearance, they are still professional enough. To become the top stream, one must always occupy the same position. Defective products are simply not worthy of being his opponent. At this point, Lu Qiangxi raised his eyebrows and said, "Oh." So, what Sumu means is that he is very confident in his participation this time. Sumu had a bright smile and a confident and domineering demeanor that caught the attention of many upper-class women at the banquet. He looked at Lu Qiangxi and said, "What, is Director Lu questioning me? He doesn't have confidence in me as a spokesperson." Lu Qiangxi was taken aback for a moment, then smiled and said, "Haha, that's not true. Don't misunderstand, why not do this? I'll give you more endorsement with my authority. If you can use this play to further enhance the public's image and drive our brand's marketing for the new year, I can add an additional 20% of the endorsement fee. However, if you fail to meet your expectations, please allow me to lower a portion." Qian Jida. Zhang Huan. After Lu Qiangxi finished speaking, both agents were stunned. Unexpectedly, it has evolved into this. "No problem, it's a deal." But Sumu didn't even think about it and agreed directly. After all, it's difficult to find a wealthy father who is rushing to give away more money. End of this chapter. Don't discuss the script with me in chapter 7, we're not that kind of person. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Don't discuss the script with me in chapter 7, we're not that kind of person. The dinner is still ongoing. Sumu and Qian Jida have completed their work socializing and are preparing to return. The previous conversation with Lu Qiangxi has basically been finalized and can be considered as additional content beyond the endorsement agreement contract. It depends on Sumu's performance afterwards. If it is successful, then the endorsement fee will be added by an additional 20%, and there is a priority right to renew the contract. But if Sumu messes up this time, then the endorsement fee will be lowered and their brand will be given unconditional hard work. It has to be said that Lu Qiangxi is indeed a calculating person in the mall. This seemingly passive addition, however, perfectly fulfills his own ideas and goals. To put it simply, he definitely planned this additional bet in advance, and regardless of whether he wins or loses, the brand will not lose. Even if Sumu wins, it is Zhang Dedeo's drama. If his drama can become popular, it can basically take it to the next level. This is not only because his acting skills are recognized, but also greatly enhances the image in the audience's hearts. The more Sumu's image is enhanced, the more bonus it has for their brand. So this is a non-loss buying and selling both inside and outside. Of course, it is not Qian Jida who is the most opposed and angry towards this matter, but Zhang Huan. He originally intended to use this opportunity to make Sumu and Qian Jida stand down. It would be best if he could stir up their endorsement, so that maybe the NNQT boy group could have a chance, and at least a small amount of endorsement fee would be enough. Unexpectedly, just as he spoke, he was killed by Sumu alone. Even with a reverse assist, Lu Qiangxi made an additional endorsement fee bet on the spot. This undoubtedly completely binds Sumu and the brand's endorsement. Because if this gambling contract doesn't end, they won't be able to terminate it at all. Watching Sumu and Qian Jida eat and drink their fill, apply oil on their feet, and walk out of the dinner party with a swagger. Zhang Huan was so angry that he almost choked on the cake. surprisingly mocking the popular boy band he brought out as defective products. In other words, isn't it just cursing me as a scavenger? Damn it. Bring out a heavenly king sooner or later. Let all of you know who is the strongest agent in China. Zhang Huan secretly swore in his heart. Su Mu and Qian Jida naturally did not know what Zhang Huan was thinking. At this point, the two have already left the banquet hall. Prepare to take a car back outside the hotel. But before the driver could drive over, a very pleasant sound came from behind. Su Mu. Su Mu turned around and saw Ning Yuyan, who was wearing a low-cut evening gown with a perfectly streamlined figure, coming out from behind. Su Mu and Qian Jida exchanged a glance. What about calling you? I know. What is the situation? I don't know. Do you know each other? I don't know. The two of them exchanged messages, feeling strange in their hearts at this moment. Because they have almost no social interaction with Ning Yuyan. Except for occasional encounters at award ceremonies, there seems to be no formal contact with anyone else, whether it's filming or participating in variety shows. Ning Yuyan belongs to the Beijing Style Circle, and her backers are all-time honored brands in the entertainment industry. As for Su Mu's side, it is the Galaxy Circle, which belongs to a group of media systems that rely on the rise of new era traffic. There is no distinction between high and low, it's just that the circles of contact are different. Su Mu politely smiled, and the official batch. Hello, Teacher Ning. I really like your play. I wanted to say hello to you at the dinner party before, but I had to hurry and didn't have time. Ning Yuyan smiled, her delicate oval face filled with the words, you and I are just pigs. I know, so didn't I chase after you? I haven't met you several times before, so I took this opportunity to come over and get to know you. If there are opportunities for cooperation in the future, I will need more care. Opportunities for collaboration. Su Mu is a bit skeptical. Unless it's a variety show on those big platforms, the resources between him and Ning Yuyan are like two parallel lines. Ning Yuyan is a popular young actress, and almost all of her dramas are the kind that appears in the primetime slots of major TV stations. Although she is young, her acting skills are very good, she comes from a professional background, and is deeply loved by the public. Maybe she's going to make a movie next and really step onto the big screen to compete for box office success. But looking at Su Mu, most of them are web dramas. Although they are very popular and profitable, they are clearly a bit inferior to the big screen. So in summary, what opportunities can they have for cooperation? So this is not a reason at all. Is it? Craving for one's own body. Sleeping trough. If you are dating an actress, it will be very troublesome to get married in the future. Who will take care of you after having children? Both of them may not necessarily be together during the Chinese New Year, so they can only lick their phone screens and watch each other's respective roles at night. In the drama, they have a hot fight with another man and woman, and then imagine that their other half is themselves. They use their other hand to hypnotize and comfort themselves. No way. This kind of marriage is difficult to sustain. Su Mu refused. Ning Yuyan looked at Su Mu's expression and thought the other person was questioning her words. She smiled and said, don't guess, let me tell you in advance. It's director Zhang's play, and I will also audition this time. Ah. Are you also going to participate in the show, Fury? What are you talking about? Crazy. What's so crazy? Ning Yuyan looked puzzled. Su Mu suddenly realized that Kuang Biao was the title of the previous drama, and on this side, director Zhang may not have established the script name yet. Sumu. I didn't expect you to be as crazy as me. You're going to audition with director Zhang. Ning Yuyan gave Su Mu a smirk and said, I'm quite familiar with director Zhang, and this time he took the initiative to contact me and asked me to audition for a role. Sure enough, the resources in the Beijing metropolitan area are different. The major directors personally contacted each other. It seems that Ning Yuyan will definitely participate in this drama. However, from her temperament, she is not suitable to play the role of sister.in.law, but rather suitable to play the other half of the male lead, Meng Yu, who is at ease, or Gao Qiqiang's sister, Gao Qilan. Speaking of which, Su Mu didn't show any affectation and directly took out his phone. Then let's add a WeChat account. If there is really a chance to cooperate, please take good care of it. Ning Yuyan's eyebrows lit up with joy, and then she took out her phone and scanned WeChat. Su Mu, the audition will be in a few days. Have you seen the script? If not, you can come to my place to see it and take the opportunity to discuss the role. Late at night, go to your hotel to discuss the script. Su Mu casually glanced at Ning Yuyan's slender figure, her crystal clear and fair collarbone and neck particularly tempting under the light. In this state, it's hard to justify not acting like a sister.in.law. But he is not the kind of casual person. Sorry, I have something else to attend to these days and I really can't go, but thank you all the same. Next time, I'll treat you to dinner in the capital city. Su Mu really doesn't have time. Because he is going to spend a lot of time at home to improve his proficiency and skill points. And to be honest, discussing roles is simply a waste of time for him, who is now proficient. What kind of character can't he understand when he reaches the level? They can all be easily captured. At this moment, after hearing Su Mu's rejection, Ning Yuyan did not show much regret and smiled sweetly. Okay, I'll see you in the city of Beijing. Well, goodbye. Leaving the scene. Su Mu and Qian Jida took a car and quickly returned to their residence. Ning Yuyan was just an interlude, but Qian Jida didn't care. Along the way, he just kept muttering about Lu Qiangxi's endorsement and additional content. Qian Jida said, "It's not Su Mu. How dare you agree? Even if you add 20%, there will be a lot of endorsement fees, but the problem is, our success rate is not high. I give you momentum, it's not about making your mind rush when it's hot." Su Mu automatically blocked Qian Jida's nagging. After he finished speaking, he spoke up, "Everyone, look at me. Let me briefly talk about today's matter. Qian Jida. Dot. Fan Xiaoju. Dot. Driver. Dot. Su Mu. Life is just we must. So do you understand? You don't understand. It must be then. Speech proficiency +1, skill point +0.01, dot. End of this chapter. Is the wrong way to open this top-tier beauty in Chapter 8. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Is the wrong way to open this top-tier beauty in Chapter 8. Su Mu returned to his residence. After Qian Jida escorted him downstairs, he left, saying that he still had to handle some work and arrange some matters for him to go to Beijing in the next 2 days. In fact, this audition was purely a coincidence, and there were no special arrangements from director Zhang's production team. Due to the public opinion and popularity online, being able to give you a chance is considered a face-saving opportunity. So if you go there, you have to arrange everything on your own. But it can be quite troublesome for celebrities to go out. Especially now that Su Mu is in a hot search stage, many people are paying attention to whether he can fulfill the praise he made at the award ceremony in the future. So there are still many details that Qian Jida, the agent, needs to worry about. He felt that since things had come to this point, it was better to think more about the details that could be thought of, and to do everything that could be done in terms of human relationships and worldly wisdom. As for whether it can succeed, it depends on Su Mu. There are some things that both Su Mu and Qian Jida have tacitly agreed upon. In order to successfully transform, it is necessary to accumulate good works. This may be an opportunity, but if missed, it will also be the beginning of a downhill journey. After Su Mu returned, he took a brief shower. Then I immersed myself in reading the script. Male Art Proficiency Board, Name. Sumu Height. 183 Appearance. Fresh Meat Level, Premium, Strength. 1.1 Speed. 1.1 Durability. 1.1 Brain Computing Power. 1.1 Skill Point. 0.24, Speech, Beginner, Proficiency LV 1.3/20, Script Understanding, Beginner, Proficiency LV 1.1/20, according to the current panel proficiency parameters. If he wants to accumulate 1.0 skill points to exchange for category blind boxes, he needs to brush an additional 0.76 skill points. In terms of the number of times he has matured and practiced, it means he may need to read the script 76 times before he can complete it. To be honest, if it's just doing squats and push-ups, that's not a lot. But after reading the script 76 times, it's not as tiring as usual. However, at present, only the proficiency levels of script comprehension and speech have been activated. Even if you have to grit your head, you have to persevere. Without wasting time, Sumu brewed a strong cup of coffee and entered the light reading mode. In fact, he only watched the TV series, Fury, in his previous life once. I remember the general plot, but if I want to focus on the details of each character's storyline, Sumu won't remember much. However, many classic lines are not present in this early stage script. As Sumu read it carefully, he began to copy the wild and classic lines of the previous life from his memory, taking notes and filling in the corresponding positions. Except for a few important characters, he has little impression of the other small characters. So the level of understanding is still shallow. He knew that in order to play a good role, besides memorizing lines, it was also necessary to have a deep understanding and speculation of the character's psychology and actions in the context of the text at that time. This requires experience. However, as his proficiency improved, Sumu found himself inexplicably able to appreciate the state of several characters such as Gao Qiqiang in the text at that time. Why say those words in certain plots? Or perhaps it is why they sell fish from the bottom and walk towards a dark path of no return. Proficiency +1, skill point +0.01. Sumu focuses all his attention and browses as quickly as possible. For some extremely familiar plots, they quickly pass by, while for unfamiliar ones, they slow down slightly. Reading is relaxed and appropriate. Continue to add again, and again. After reading it 10 times, he felt that he could completely memorize the plot inside. He can almost narrate what each scene in the script is. After having such a foundation, his speed of observation increased once again. Sumu gradually shifted from narration to recitation. After all, after reaching a certain number of times, simply passing through can no longer arouse excitement. The plot is well known, and what is said next to it is also clear. So turning to memorization is the only way to stimulate the enthusiasm for reading below. Script Understanding, Beginner, Proficiency LV 1.19/20, a proficiency reminder flashed through my mind. Sumu didn't care either. The tightly closed blackout curtains left him unsure whether it was dawn outside or whether it was already noon the next day. As proficiency improves, understanding becomes more profound, making recitation easier. In short, he just watched it crazily over and over again. From the main actor's lines to the supporting role's lines. So, this person was forced out. He had never worked so hard before, and even felt a headache memorizing lines while filming, but now it's the opposite. Until someone knocked on the door. He just snapped out of his immersion. Sumu adjusted his stiff body and looked at the time. Surprisingly, it was already 7:30 the next evening. Male Art Proficiency Board, Skill Point. 0.55, Speech, Beginner, Proficiency LV 1.3/20, Script Comprehension, Entering the Room, Proficiency LV 2.10/50, after looking at the updated parameters on the panel. Sumu's expression has also become numb. Mainly tired. In fact, he didn't calculate how many times he had read this day and night, but according to the parameters given above, he should have already completed half of it. And with proficiency in understanding the script, he has also achieved a remarkable level of proficiency. If Director Zhang appears in front of him now and analyzes the script with him, whether it's talking about any scene or character, Su Mu is confident and can fully articulate its content. The current skill points have accumulated to 0.55, and with a little more accumulation, we should be able to achieve 1.0 small goal. Open the door. I saw Qian Jida and his assistant Xiaoju standing outside, pushing their luggage. Su Mu looked bewildered and said, "What are you guys?" Qian Jida looked at Su Mu's listless face and said, "Su Mu, what did you do yesterday? Didn't you let you rest well? Why is your face so pale? You probably went to find that Ning Yuyan to study the script, right?" Su Mu's face darkened as he said, "What are you looking for? I've been reading the script at home all day and haven't slept a wink. I'm working hard." Got it. Xiaoju looked incredulous and said, "Oh my goodness. You watched it all night?" Su Mu. Is it strange? Xiaoju. It's strange. Are you sure you're the Su Mu I know? Su Mu smiled strangely and grabbed Xiaoju's chubby face, saying, "Okay, then today we'll let you get to know your boss again." Xiaoju's face was pinched and she screamed in pain, "Oh, my goodness. I was wrong, I was wrong. Su Mu. Call Dad." The two of them pushed their suitcases into the room. Later, Qian Jida sat on the sofa and said, "We have a flight tomorrow morning, so I'll stay with you tonight with Xiaoju. We'll save trouble and leave tomorrow morning." Su Mu suddenly realized. No wonder these two people came over with suitcases. It turned out they were going to the capital city tomorrow. Wait a moment. At this moment, Qian Jida sitting on the sofa suddenly exclaimed in surprise. Then he copied out the script from under his buttocks, which was about to be turned over. At this time, Su Mu wrote notes and some insights densely on the script. He looked at Su Mu incredulously. This is what you wrote?" Su Mu. "Yes, what else?" Qian Jida glanced at it and was immediately attracted. Because he found that the notes annotated on it were not really scribbled. Especially some actively modified lines and minor plot changes. After briefly reading a few pages, Qian Jida found that the more he looked at it, the more he was shocked in his heart. The plot of the script has not changed, but how do you feel that after Su Mu added and modified that little detail, both the plot and the dialogue of the characters? How do you describe it? I was very impressed. Every sentence is classic, yet incredibly smooth. Yes, it's just smoother than before. It seems like lubricating oil has been added. Qian Jida looked at Su Mu in shock. Why didn't you see before that this kid still has this ability? Qian Jida suspected himself that the way he opened Su Mu before was a bit wrong. End of this chapter. In chapter 9, he changed and became even more abnormal. Please read and accept. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 9 he changed, becoming even more abnormal, seeking reading, collecting, seeking ball. The atmosphere in the room is a bit strange. Qian Jida and Fan Xiaoju leaned together and read the script from beginning to end. The reason for my strong interest is mainly due to some classic quotes annotated by Su Mu, which are simply the finishing touch. Qian Jida suddenly looked up and pointed blankly at the script. Su Mu, when it comes to this scene, why do you think that Gao Qiqiang's vegetarian noodles should be changed to pig feet noodles? Su Mu smiled, then his face turned positive and the time came to pretend to be forced. Okay, then I will briefly state my understanding of the changes to this script, as well as my reflections on this era. This story dates back to 2000 years ago in Guangdong, so attention should be paid to the details. You should not eat vegetarian noodles, but rather the local specialty noodles, in order to express yourself more fully. I have previously studied the life of Guangdong in that era, and it was like this. Speech proficiency +1, +1, +1, +1, skill points +0.01, +0.01 +. Sumu seized the opportunity. Start crazily brushing skill points. Starting from the first page of the script, he delivered a speech to Qian Jida and Fan Xiaoju until the last page. It didn't stop until Qian Jida and Fan Xiaoju were sleeping soundly on the sofa. Actually, the two of them have been wanting to sleep for a long time. But Sumu naturally cannot miss this opportunity to brush skill points and proficiency. So in the first half of the night, coffee and fruits were prepared, and in the second half of the night, he had to wake them up manually. It wasn't until 3 o'clock in the second half of the night that even he couldn't open his eyes. Dry mouth and tongue, as if getting angry. However, after taking a look at the gains from the panel, Sumu still smiled with satisfaction. Male art panel, skill point. 0.95, speech, entering the room, proficiency LV 2.2350, script comprehension, entering the room, proficiency LV 2.1050, through his insane torment of Qian Jida and Xiao Orange. Finally, the skill points were accumulated to 0.95. Later on, it will be easy. You can easily save up to 1.0 points to exchange for blind boxes by brushing your proficiency level 5 times at any time. Sumu is actually looking forward to it very much. According to the introduction of the panel, this blind box is opened, and the classification can be refined and then extracted. I don't know what kind of reward there will be then. And now the proficiency in public speaking has reached the level of LV2. I feel like my lips have become slippery. After a simple tidying up, Sumu went back to his room and fell asleep. He really can't hold on anymore. I haven't slept for almost 2 days, and if I don't rest, I'm afraid I'll die suddenly. The next day, Qian Jida and Fan Xiaoju stood on a plane with black circles under their eyes. Being disturbed by Sumu, there is an impulse to completely abandon him. However, after seeing him even boarding the plane and studying the script diligently, he suddenly felt a sour feeling in his heart, and even wanted to go over and hug him, giving him the thought of comfort. Qian Jida felt relieved and wanted to cry. He glanced at Xiaoju next to him and sighed softly. Sumu has really changed. Xiaoju remained noncommittal and indeed became even more abnormal. Before, Sumu went on a business trip to make a gray machine, but he used to wear an eye mask and sleep. Otherwise, he would talk about life with a flight attendant. Now, he actually reads the script. Qian Jida said, "Everyone will grow, right? Our Sumu brother has also grown." Xiaoju. "Mr. Qian, do you think this audition will work?" Qian Jida said, "I don't know, but from his level of hard work and understanding of the script, I think there is still some hope." Xiaoju. "It's a bit." Xiaoju felt a bit sad in her heart. She looked at Sumu, who was still flipping through the pages and reading the script, and was full of worry. Although the idol she admires is not Sumu, but the younger brothers from those idol training classes. After all, we have been together for so long and still have feelings. Sumu is not only her own person, but also her boss. And this time, Fan Xiaoju also saw his intentions throughout the whole process. If he failed, not to mention Sumu, even she would feel uncomfortable in her heart. At that time, it is uncertain how to evaluate Sumu online. Sumu didn't watch the hot search these days, but she did. The sarcastic and mocking remarks above are quite infuriating. Thinking of this, Xiaoju pouted and felt that as Sumu's close assistant, she had to do something. Immediately, she took out her phone and directly opened Weibo, clicking on the support group of #SomosSuperTalk. Start issuing orders. Weibo account Little Orange. Everyone. Brother Sumu is currently working hard on the front line. As his support team, should we do something to make my brother feel the warmth of our big family? Let me first reveal the itinerary. In a few hours, we will arrive in the capital city. Those who can come to pick us up can come. Everyone is super handsome today. Also, if you come to pick up the plane, you must follow the order and be careful not to cause overcrowding, otherwise it will be very negative on the news. Finally, I would like to say that my brother's recent hot search comments are not right. I don't know if the fans of a few people across the street are spraying feces indiscriminately, but no matter who wants to smear our brother's comment section, we firmly disagree, right? Let's have a big cleaning today. Fill each comment section with love. Go ahead, Xiaoju wrote with great enthusiasm, and if she could speak in voice, she would definitely be passionate and enthusiastic. Finally, she secretly took a photo of Su Mu and posted it. The Weibo support group is completely lively. Wow! Brother has come to Beijing. I need to go pick him up, I'm sure I came for an audition. Support. You must work hard. Everyone join in. Follow Commander Xiaoju and clean up the comments section for your brother. That's right, use our love to influence those little black kids. Here we go. Let's go together. The fans in the group are enthusiastic. Then I started crazily commenting under Sumo Weibo. Heizi. Su Mu's acting skills are like wooden people. Fan. Brother, thank you for your comment, but if the wooden character is played well, it's also good. Heizi. A celebrity who relies on capital to promote themselves knows how to play some spicy chicken dramas. I advise you not to look for director Zhang. If you really want you will ruin this drama. Fan response. Don't rush to deny someone, my brother is also working hard to improve. Are you born to act? Which old actor didn't just improve a little bit? Can you be a little patient, Blackie? You can't choose, don't delay those old actors. Isn't it good to play the domineering CEO obediently? Fan response. You're right. Brother's domineering CEO is truly handsome. Thank you for your praise in the first class cabin. Su Mu is still carefully watching the script, unaware that his fans are also helping him work hard. At this moment, the beautiful flight attendant sitting across from her kept sneaking glances over, unable to extricate herself, almost ready to stir up trouble. It's not the first time you've seen a celebrity in the first class cabin. But Su Mu's diligent work made the flight attendant feel that she was the most handsome she had ever seen. She tightly closed her legs, rubbed the black thread on her knees a few times, and her face turned rosy. Fortunately, the plane was not bumpy, otherwise any time Su Mu looked up at her at this moment, she would have to go back and change into a flight attendant uniform. Proficiency in script understanding +1, skill point +0.01, 2 hours later. Su Mu suddenly closed the script with a snap. Then he drank a glass of water vigorously. Close your dry eyes and lean against the seat. Male art panel parameters, proficiency LV 2.23/50 in public speaking, lecture, script understanding, lecture, proficiency LV 2.15/50, skill point 1.0. Congratulations. The skill points have been accumulated and can cost 1.0 skill points. You can choose to classify blind boxes, and the types are as follows. Task type blind box. 0 blind box for works. 0 talent blind box. 0 skill blind box. 0 item blind box. 0 attribute blind box. 0 finally done. The corners of Su Mu's mouth curved. Which one is better to choose? End of this chapter. 10. Chapter 10. Listening to the wounds in your breath and the madness in your heartbeat. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. Chapter 10. Listening to the wounds in your breath and the madness in your heartbeat. At this moment, Su Mu quietly watched the blind box classification that appeared in front of him. It can be divided into 6 categories. Tasks, works, talents, skills, items, and attributes. It is easy to analyze from the literal meaning what kind of rewards these classification blind boxes can offer. However, currently he only has 1.0 skill points in his hand. So we can only choose one blind box, and we still need to be cautious. It would be best if it could be helpful for some of the work or life problems he is currently facing. Is good steel used on the blade? His most important thing now is nothing more than winning an important role in director Zhang's new drama and being able to perform well. Finally, through this drama, I am about to face a reversal in my underlined career path. At present, what he most needs may be acting skills. However, the scope of acting is too broad, and to gain proficiency in this field, simply opening a blind box is definitely not enough. Although he doesn't have much acting skills, he still has some understanding in this area. Emotional expression, observation ability, imitation ability, external form, facial control, and so on are all parts of acting that require refinement and proficiency. So it is very likely that the selected talent blind box is a specific proficiency talent that has been carefully divided. Perhaps lucky enough to break down an emotional expression proficiency. In this way, in the future, acting will not be like being a wooden person, and you can express your emotions at any time, and you can cry at any time without the need for eye drops. But for those professional actors, these are the most basic skills. Relying solely on this one to cry may not be enough to get a role from director Zhang. As for the other categories, works, skills, items, and attributes, there is no need to think about them. The blind box is random. Even if he draws out a complete book of dopa, at most it will only open the path of online literature. But it doesn't align with the current goal you want to achieve. Far water cannot save near fire. As for the final attribute classification blind box, it doesn't seem to be very helpful either. At present, he has 4 major attributes: strength, speed, endurance, and computational power. Even with an additional basic attribute, it seems that it cannot improve acting skills and the help is minimal. Therefore, to analyze I can only use my sword to attack the enemy, besiege Wei and save Zhao, and play some wild tricks. Su Mu ultimately locked his gaze on the task-type blind box. As the old saying goes, if there is a task, there must be a reward. Often, tasks are determined around the protagonist's current environmental trajectory. This is a natural law. So if you draw a task-type blind box, maybe this task is related to finding director Zhang for an audition. Anyway, let's treat a dead horse as a living horse doctor. Maybe there's a bug that can get stuck. Tip. Do you want to use 1.0 skill points to purchase blind boxes? Su Mu. Yes. Tip. Please select blind box classification, Su Mu. Task-oriented. Tip. Task-type blind boxes will be assigned tasks based on your current actual action range, task-type blind box. *1, do you want to open the box? Open. Blind box task unboxing in progress. Task. Please publish the short video BGM, listen, of your previous life's Fury, within 24 hours and successfully share it with 3 well-known artists. Reward for completion. Talent blind box *1, item blind box *1, skill points plus 2.0, done Su Mu. Looking at the task before him, Su Mu was completely bewildered. Firstly, this is indeed what he thought, which is related to the target trajectory he needs to pursue in real life, as the tasks opened by the task blind box. But the difficulty of this task is really a bit high. Let him release a single within 24 hours. Even if this single does not require him to create it himself, but rather has a pre-existing work in his past life, the problem is that the process of releasing the single is not as simple as imagined. After all, he sings it himself. Although he is not yet full of 5 notes, it may take a long time to meticulously detail in order to record and meet the standards for releasing a single. Su Mu has also released a single before. Xian Jida's character design is a versatile and top-notch appearance. I remember last year, he was arranged by the company to sing a few songs. Even hired renowned producers and teachers in the industry to teach hand in hand, barely passing a few songs. But now it takes 24 hours to complete, and it's not even as long as recording Saliva songs back then. I looked at the time. It's 12 o'clock now. That is to say, at this time tomorrow, the single will be released and we need to find 3 well-known top-tier artists to help repost it before it can be considered completed. It's so rushed, not only can we find someone to help forward it, but it's also difficult to find a recording studio. Sumu was filled with helplessness. But looking at the reward for this task, he was somewhat envious. 2 blind boxes and 2.0 skill points, this is a huge sum of money. You know, he almost died suddenly before trying to score a 1.0 skill point. And if this task is completed, it may even be beneficial to oneself. Can't we just abandon the task blind box that took so much effort to create? It's better to work hard and find a way to complete it. After making a decision, Sumu finally perked up and prepared to challenge himself by trying to release this single 24 hours a day. While thinking, Sumu quickly took out his pen and began to write down the difficulties of this task and the steps to be taken next. Firstly, it is necessary to quickly get Qian Jida to find a music producer and then spend money to rent a recording studio. Secondly, he did not have a score for the short video BGM of this past life thrilling TV drama. So after finding the music producer, you still need to scrape off the score of the song. In my impression, this song was very popular at that time, and I could watch this BGM on short videos every day. Fortunately, Sumu not only heard of it, but also sang it. So, even if his musical literacy is not enough, finding a talented music producer, as long as you listen to him sing a few times, you can probably get rid of it. Thinking of this, Sumu quickly hummed the song "Listen" in his mouth. Then, relying on memory, I quickly wrote down the lyrics. May the hustle and bustle of the world forget us. Listen to the injuries in your breathing. Listen to the madness in your heartbeat. Listening to the warmth in your arms spreading across the hills. Who grinds a strand of red beans into fragrance. Let lovesickness overflow into a river through cracks. The startled swan in my ears softened the vicissitudes of life. Listen to the light in your eyes. Listening to love burning in my ears. Listen to us. On both sides of the heart wall the world is old and desolate. At this point, Qian Jida and Fan Xiaoju looked at Sumu, who was writing fiercely in front of them with a bewildered expression, very worried. Xiaoju. Mr. Qian, is Sumu okay? What are you doing? Qian Jida. Change the script. Xiaoju. It's not like that. His script is combined and he's not even reading it. Qian Jida said, that's strange. Apart from using his pen when signing, this kid hasn't seen him write anything at any time. Is this writing a diary? Xiaoju. But who writes a diary for a serious person? Qian Jida. Sumu. Is he a serious person? Xiaoju suddenly fell silent. Well, she's really not quite sure about this. Please follow up. Touch it. Wipe the pants of all the big shots. End of this chapter.